Welcome to Let's Learn 2024 D&D, where I go over a different rule of the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in 2024. This is for people looking for a quick rule refresher or looking to get into the game. My name's Jimmy, your local Dungeon Master. Let's begin. Today, we're talking about conditions. Let's learn. So a few videos back, we talked about the exhaustion condition, and I mentioned we would go over conditions at a later time. Well, that's time is here. It's nigh. I didn't want to dive headfirst into conditions immediately until we had some framework of the game, but now that we're here, we can go over each of them and talk about what exactly a condition is. So a condition is some form of effect that is applied to your character. Conditions are often temporary and can bestow some form of benefit or encumbrance to your character. The important takeaway from a condition is regardless of what condition you have, other than exhaustion, you can only have one instance of the same condition at a time. So if your character has the deafen condition, they can't have a second instance of the deafen condition. There's not a second level instance of the deafen condition. A weird interaction is the grappled condition. If we follow the rules to a T, your character can only be grappled by one creature at a time, which I personally think is a little weird because most certainly that's not how it would work in real life. But regardless, it is a game, so a dungeon master could rule interactions to make things work differently per table. Like for the grapple check, I would say if you have multiple people trying to grapple one creature, you could give the creature that is grappling advantage on their checks from their allies to hold the creature. So getting the general idea of conditions not stacking, the other takeaway should be conditions have different requirements that mean they end. For example, if you have a prone condition, if your character stands up, the prone condition ends. Not always is a condition that easy to remove, and we'll go over the conditions now. So of the conditions, you have blinded, charmed, deafened, exhaustion, frightened, grappled, incapacitated, invisible, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, stunned, and unconscious. And also one called dying, but that's just when you're in death saving throw, so you're dying. It's not really a condition, it's just, you're actively dying. You have other conditions with dying, so that happens. So let's go over these real quick and I can tell you what it means for your character and the mechanics that are affected by each condition. A good thing to note beforehand is your character might have abilities or spells that can cause these conditions. So if you notice one of your spells or abilities does that, maybe write it down or read up on what the condition is to help your dungeon master out. Blinded means your character can't see. They can't make perception checks without their sight. If your character needs their eyes to see, attack roll D20 tests they make have disadvantage, and characters they can't see that can see them have advantage in their D20 test attack rolls. Additionally, if you have a spell that says you choose a point that you can see, you cannot cast it as you cannot see. It just makes sense. The charmed condition means the charmed creature will not attack or use negative abilities at the creature that charmed it. Additionally, the creature that charmed it has advantage on D20 tests using their charisma skills against the charmed creature. I think a good way to refer to this is a charmed creature treats the charmer like a best friend. A deafened creature fails all D20 ability skill checks regarding hearing things. Your character cannot hear auditory noises either. This, however, does not mean they're immune to thunder damage for clarification, which is a noise. It's not the case. You are not immune to that damage. We talked about exhaustion in a previous video, so I'll just plug it right here if I remember to do that. Frightened is a condition in which your character is shaking in their boots and is treading the line of fight or flight and cannot choose either. As long as you see the source you are frightened of, you have disadvantage on all D20 tests for ability checks and attack rolls. Additionally, you cannot move towards the source you are frightened of. The grappled condition is a bit of a beefy condition. Basically, this condition means the creature that is grappled is being held onto, encumbering them and hindering them at the same time. Grappled creatures have 0 movement speed and can't gain any movement speed benefits. The condition ends if you gain the incapacitated condition or if you break free from the grapple. This condition also ends if something forcibly moves you away from the grappler, such as a spell that blasts you back or separates the both of you. Any creature grappled has disadvantage on any attack roll D20 test against anyone except the person grappling them. Additionally, a creature that is grappled can be dragged by the grappler at the cost of some movement. A little note about grappling too, when you're trying to grapple a creature, you can only grapple ones that are similar size to you, so within like one size category of you. Incapacitated basically means your character is out for the count. They can't talk, they can't take actions, reactions, or bonus actions. In this case, assume movement is an action, even though I don't think the rules define it well enough as an action. Additionally, while incapacitated, you cannot concentrate on spells. And if you have to roll initiative, you have disadvantage on the D20 test. This condition might be brought on by a spell or is supplementary to a couple of other conditions as well. Invisible is a condition granted through spell or through stealth. It is only granted if the creature you are attempting to stealth or be invisible from is unaware of your presence. This can be from a d20 test using stealth or from something like the invisibility spell. While invisible, to a creature you are considered concealed. The creature cannot target you with spells that would require them to see you. Their attack roll d20 tests have disadvantage, and yours have advantage against them. When you roll initiative while invisible, you do so with advantage. Just remember, the condition only applies if you are actually considered invisible. Certain creatures can see through invisibility or might have otherworldly senses that might affect your condition without you fully knowing. Paralyzed is a condition where your body locks up. You also gain the incapacitated condition when you are paralyzed. Your speed is 0. Any strength or dexterity d20 saving throw test you make automatically fails. Attacks made against you have advantage, and if the attack is within 5 feet of you, it is considered a critical hit. It's a pretty nasty condition. Petrification refers to a creature being turned into some form of inanimate substance, which is usually stone. Think of Medusa's gaze turning a creature to stone. When you turn to stone, your weight increases by 10 times its value. You can't move. You fail all dexterity and strength saving throw d20 tests. All attack roll d20 tests made against you have advantage, but you also have immunity to poison and resistance to all damage. Of course, you are also incapacitated, so forget about doing anything because you're stone. Or like some things in one of my campaigns, there's a weapon that can turn you to cheese. The poison condition means a creature simply has disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability d20 tests. This can be from overintoxication, poison, or similar reasons. The prone condition is when a creature is on the ground crawling or having fallen down. The creature's only option to move is to stand up, which ends the condition, or to crawl. Crawling costs twice the movement to move. So if you want to crawl 5 feet, you must spend 10 of your movement speed. In order to stand up, you must spend half your movement speed, rounded down. You can't stand up if you have no movement speed. If a creature is within 5 feet of you, they have advantage to hit you with an attack roll. And if they are outside of 5 feet of you, they have disadvantage. Restrained is a condition where a creature's speed is reduced to 0. Their attack roll d20 tests have disadvantage, while others have advantage on their attack roll d20 tests against them. And they have disadvantage on all their dexterity saving throws. This condition is basically the equivalent of someone pinning you on the ground. It's a step up from just grappling a creature. The stun condition is a condition that gives you the incapacitated condition. You automatically fail strength and dexterity d20 saving throw tests. Additionally, attack rolls against the creature have advantage. The stun condition is the creature having their lights dazed out, essentially. Monks have an attack called Stunning Strike that gives this condition. Unconscious is a condition where the creature is completely unaware of their environment. They have 0 movement, attacks have advantage against them, and attacks that do hit them within 5 feet are critical hits. They also fail all of their strength and dexterity saving throw d20 tests. A good reference to this condition is sleeping. So now that you have gone over all of the conditions the book mentions in condition section, I want to clarify a couple other things I would probably count as conditions that are within the book as well. These are the bloodied condition and concentration. Bloodied is when a creature's current health is half their maximum health. It doesn't change a whole lot other than it's an indicator for player characters to know that a creature is hurting. And concentration we have talked about before. I just want to mention it seems like it can fit in the category of a condition, as it does not mechanically change your character's ability to do certain things, but you can only concentrate on one spell at a time, and when you take damage, you must make a concentration check. And with that, thank you all for listening to this Let's Learn. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. If there's another topic you want to cover for the 2024 rules of Dungeons & Dragons, or have a question about the topic just covered, leave a comment. The point of this is to be educational and informative to help introduce the game to people who may not have played before or want to get back into it. Thank you.